Whenever you see a video like this that I'm making where the backdrop looks like it does, it's because I'm making the videos in the morning shortly before I go to work. So when I get done with them, I have to log on fairly quickly. Working from home has afforded me to be able to spend a little more time with you guys, and so I'm thankful for it. But yeah, when I log on, I have to do what many of you do when you get onto your computers. You have to hit Control, Alt, and Delete simultaneously to gain access to the programs, right? And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. I got to thinking about this when I was laying in bed this morning. Hitting Control, Alt, and Delete becomes so routine that we don't really think about it. It's just an automatic function. So what can we glean from this? Well, when we take those three separate words, control, alternate, and delete, we can derive great benefit from them if we kind of draw a parallel to our lives. You see, we have control over what we say, what we think, what we do. Nobody else does. People are a great influence, circumstances are great influences, but all in all, we have control over many things. Not everything, but we have autonomy. We have control over ourselves. We get to make decisions. We have agency. So that's where I want to start. And then alt, of course, means alternate, and it means you get to choose between varying options, right? And that means that things don't always have to stay the same, right? But all too often, we keep them the same, don't we? And delete, well, that's not too hard to figure out. You dispose, you jettison cargo that you don't need, and you eliminate things that are no longer useful or just old and worn out, right? Don't tell my wife that. She might get some ideas. But nevertheless, here's where we want to go with this today, and I'm sure you've drawn a very distinct line already. You have control in your life to be able to change things up every so often. Now, the question would be, why would you want to do that? Well, because things get old and worn out, things get tiresome, things become too routine, and we get bored, and our senses are dulled, right? Let me give you an example of this. I play the piano. I try to play a lot every day. I'm trying to get better and better at a skill, regardless of whether it goes anywhere or not. It's just something in life I love to do. And everybody has something, right? I hope you do. And when you work on compositions, you have to play them over and over and over again to become quite proficient. In fact, necessarily not just hundreds of times, but thousands of times. Any musician who is working on his craft will tell you that it's an evolution in progress. So what happens though is by default you become kind of wearisome of it, and this is the dilemma we find ourselves in everyday life. Whether you're playing music, whether you're working on a skill, maybe you're woodworking, maybe you've got some other kind of hobby or interest that requires some dedication, but that the discipline that you have to do it entails repetition, and so you become weary of it, and you consider giving up because the interest is not there as much as it used to be. The fire doesn't burn quite as hotly, but what you might want to do is consider an alternative. You can keep doing things, you can keep up the lifestyle that you have, but you can alternate routines. Now, what I've done with my music is I have an electronic piano. I cannot naturally transpose music, but I can electronically change the keys that I play in. And so I'm playing around with it yesterday. I very rarely ever do this. What I did was I bumped it up a notch, I changed the pitch just a little bit, and behold, the music sounded new to my ears. It sounded completely new, and I was playing better. And I came to realize the reason I was not performing at an optimal level was because basically I was bored. I was bored. My ears were dulled. And don't we do this with everything? So what I want to challenge you to do, to think about today, is whatever kind of life you're living, think about what you're doing that is simply routine. Now you're doing these things because you've used your agency, you've used your autonomy to choose to do things in a certain way. We all like regulation. We like a formula, a format with which to work, because then we know where we're at, we know where we're going, we know what it takes to get there. But once we get onto that path, so hard it is to choose a different one because we don't want to mess things up. But consider altering things just a little bit. Choose an alternate method. And this doesn't have to do with just something you're developing a skill with. It could be how you're driving to work. Have you ever driven to work and you don't know how you got there? Maybe to the store to go to pick up your kids, um, any place, and you think back on it and go, I don't even know how I got there. My mind was somewhere else, and I don't remember if I ran red lights or not. Change your direction, change your path, um, change how you do things. This is why fitness instructors will tell people to change up their workout every 30, 60 days. Um, and there's all sorts of things you could apply this to, but change things up just a little bit. Change the way you dress. If you're like me, you've got stuff in your closet from 10, 15, might I say 20 years ago. Doesn't mean I wear them, but why don't I delete them? Why don't I discard them? Why don't I jettison them? Because I don't know why. I don't know why. In fact, I changed the landscape in my bedroom just a little bit the other day. I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but I have a laundry basket full of old work uniforms that I'll never wear again, and therefore I've had no need to wash them, but they're taking up room in my hamper. So I decided, why don't I just discard them, delete them? And it made that side of the room look so much better. And am I wrong to say that it made me feel a little bit better? But it's just little things like that. And so what I want to encourage you to do is take control of your life. You won't lose control by changing things up a little bit. You'll actually enhance things. You'll actually see things a little bit differently. You might get a little bit excited. You might get a little sparkle in your eye. And when you just change things a little bit, you know, change the way you do things, the direction that you take, the clothes that you wear, when you get up, when you go to bed, um, it, how you work out, change it up a little bit, alternate between things, and then discard some of the things that you don't need, some of the things that have fallen out of use and no longer serve you or your best interest. And I think it'll enhance things. I think between thinking about this morning and playing differently last night, choosing an alternate key to play in, kind of spawned this video. It's funny how the little things can excite us. Okay, I hope that's helped, guys. I hope it's meant something to you. And if it's resonated with you, please share it with somebody else. I'm sure somebody might need to hear it. And hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to know what I have in my beer today, check the description box below. I'll tell you. All right. And if you feel generous, you want to donate to this channel and my endeavors, I'll give you notable mention in a future video. And that information will be in the description likewise. But anyway, always check the description. I have some goodies there that you might want to take advantage of. So, guys, I've enjoyed it. I hope you have a great day. And I hope that what I've shared with you today will help you move forward, maybe in a little bit different way, into the new year. All right, guys. Be safe. Be wise.